Hello, beautiful people. Talking today about the craziest ascension symptom that I have had up to date. Oh my God. And then I want to answer a few questions about ascension that I've been getting in the comments. So thanks so much for joining us today. We're remembering our greatness together. We're going to dive into some depth of the ascension topic so we can rise high. So my name's Rebecca Abraxas, and thanks for being part of the tribe here. So ascension. What is the difference between awakening and ascension? Awakening is kind of your pop of like, oh, there's a broader perspective, or oh, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. That's kind of an awakened moment. And then we have moments of awakening, of broadening our perspective. And then ascension starts to come in when we can hold that broader perspective, and then we start to really raise our vibration. And the last piece is that we raise our vibration, and then the next experiment on planet Earth is to raise the vibration and then embody that vibration into these human meat suits. Oh. So an ascension symptom is kind of the adjustment period of raising your vibration and being able to sustain it and holding in a physical form. And that just can get a little wobbly. So I've been learning a ton about ascension symptoms lately, and I just did a training called the Marconic Ascension Energy No Touch Protocol. This was a few weeks ago, and we learned all about ascension symptoms, and we learned about one of the ascension symptoms that I had never heard about, and someone was saying that they were experiencing it at that moment, and it was this ringing in the ear that is actually sounds like Morse code. And I remember being in the class being like, well, that sounds strange. And I was like, I've always wondered about Morse code. And anyway, so that went away, and that was a few weeks ago. Well, last night, this is so crazy. I do my sleep hygiene, my energetic sleep hygiene, and get ready to go to sleep and protect myself from the realms and the multidimensional travel as I sleep. And right after I did that protocol, I went to lay down and I was like, asked my husband, I was like, do you hear a high pitched sound? And he's like, no. And so I'm like going like this, and I close my ears, and it was still happening. It wasn't from out here. It was happening within, and it was just in my left ear. And it was a high pitch, like Morse code, like that. I was like, oh my goodness, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I need to sleep. And so yeah, I kept trying to just do deep breathing, and I had the craziest night's sleep. I can't even like comprehend what happened last night, but the tossing and the turning, covers off, covers on, heat, no heat, and this zzz, it was so uncomfortable. Yet by the morning time, it was gone. And guys, ascension symptoms can show up as crazy things. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever had that one, the ear thing that sounds like a high-pitched Morse code? Am I saying it correct? Morse code? Let me know in the comments if you've ever had that one. Also, I'd love to know in the comments, what is your craziest ascension symptom? Now, you know things are ascension symptoms when they're not like constant, right? They seem to shift with an energy shift. They seem to shift within a day or two. You know what? That's not even true. Let's cross that out. Like, you can have ascension symptoms for a long time. My experience is that they come and go. Like this ear thing went away. I don't know if it'll come back. The heat thing I had for a year, then it went away, then it came back a little bit, then it went away, and then last night it was there. But interestingly enough, we were just coming off of an 11/11 day, right? November 11th. So there was a huge wave of energy coming in. So, which brings me to the second topic today is, do ascension symptoms ever stop? Well, my guess is no. However, we can manage them more effectively and efficiently, and they don't have to be as harsh. Okay, so as we start to know about ascension symptoms, as we start to allow them, as we start to allow the energy and we decrease the resistance, um, the energy symptoms can release. Now, we are in this ascension process. Like, if you're in it, you're in it. Like, it's just we're going to continue to ascend until we leave our bodies. So um in that respect, as we keep rising and rising and rising and ever expanding, um there's always going to be an adjustment period. So I think as we start to really let go of our karmic ties, as we start to just expand and stay in the broader perspective and stay in a higher frequency and really protect that frequency, meaning that like you are going to be in a lifestyle that really honors your frequency, with food, with people, with what where you put yourself. Like, you really live with moment to moment awareness of what's a vibrational match to your joy, to your high vibration. And so as we go there, we may not have as many symptoms. So like, I think another thing that creates really intense symptoms is the contrast of frequency. So like going really high and then being brought down kind of thing. So for example, if you're in an ascension process and you are rising high with this ascension energy, but you still like are playing in lower frequency fields of like, say, earth-centered things, or like shamanism or crystals, or marijuana, or plant-based, like chemically altering things. That might have worked for you for a little while, but as you're in your ascension process and your vibration high raises, guess what? This stuff is just going to pull you down. So if you're flip-flopping between like ascension stuff and then this lower frequency spirituality stuff, you're going to be like doing this. And it hurts. It doesn't feel good. I had one of those moments yesterday with some family stuff. And it's like when you have a family member that's playing with drugs or marijuana and your field is in a higher frequency, it's like this drop in frequency when you're interacting with them, and it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, and then you can do a practice to raise yourself up. Now today, I just had a Marconic no-touch session, and my friend and I were just practicing the new protocol, and it just really just lifted my frequency back up. So ascension is really all about sustaining higher frequencies. And in that sustaining process, our bodies and our minds and our fields are all adjusting. And that's when those symptoms come in. And that's when crazy symptoms can show up. So as we're here, but if we drop down, say with, we're inhuman, we've got these human stories, we've got these 3D lives, we can kind of drop down. Now, you can broaden your perspective and raise up the vibration on your own, or you can do something like a no-touch, a Marconic no-touch session. It's a really amazing process to get your vibration back up again. So guys, ascension. What are some other ascension topics that you would like to have a video about? Put that in the comments. I'd love to know what you're interested in to do more videos about. But yeah, ascension symptoms can really floor you. My experience is that the higher you go, the more like dropping in to lower frequencies can hurt. And you can kind of hang out there unless you're really clearing the stuff and doing some work to get back up there. So ascension symptoms kind of can just be from the drop. there is the initial, like once you raise a frequency or a wave of high frequency energy comes to the planet, you know, receiving that takes some integration, okay? And that can create some symptoms as well. So you have two different things that are creating these kind of crazy sensations in the body. One is the high frequency wave coming in and your body having to adjust, and the other is you're vibing high, and for whatever reason, boom, you come down, and it's like feels like a hangover. It feels like an energy hangover, right? And so ascension symptoms can feel like that. And energy hangovers are kind of high vibing and dropping low. And so it's challenging, guys, because as we go through our ascension process, we never get there. We're always expanding. We're always expanding, always expanding. But you know what you can do is you can say, you know what, ask your guides, ask your vibration, ask yourself at source, can we slow down? This is just getting to be a lot. You can ask, can we slow down for a few days or a few weeks, few months? You know, I just need a break. I need to feel good in this body right where I am. Because some of us, like myself, we're like, fast track. And if you're on the fast track and you're like, whoa, slow down, you can ask that. You can ask that of your ascension team, which is basically just aspects of yourself. So if you're like, yeah, I got to work, I have a family, I got to be functional, just say, hey, guides, please slow this process down a little bit. I need to feel a little better in my body. Or ask for support in integrating this. And then, unfortunately, you may start to have to do things differently. You may have to start to live differently, have different spiritual practices. And as you raise your vibration, hopefully like the egoic and pain body stuff just starts to kind of slough off. So you're not attached to certain practices anymore. Because as you raise your vibration, you're going to have to say goodbye to some things. And the ego is going to want to be like, no. And you're just going to have to take the little grips. It's like, parenting a toddler. It's just like, hey, let's take our hands off that. We're going to be okay. Take the hands off, let the ego just be like, we're going to be okay, but we have to let go of this practice now. It keeps pummeling us into a lower frequency. So one of the things that I had to do was let go of my crystals. Now, I was getting the hit to play with the crystals, but then I was getting the hit to like, you know what, you don't need these, and actually they're complicating the energy and stuff like that. This was when I was doing Reiki. And I didn't really listen because I was like, well, they're so pretty. And they just have so many great qualities. Well, guess what happened? I was at the gym and my car was parked right in front of the gym. And someone came while I was in a class and they knocked in my window, broke my window, glass everywhere, and took my bag of journals and crystals that I had in my back seat. Journals and crystals. I had a ukulele back there. They didn't take that. They didn't take any money. They didn't take a radio. They took a bag of journals and crystals. So I really felt like that was the universe saying like, we're going to take these, we really don't want you using these anymore. And I was like, oh, so that was that. And then with Marconics, actually, we're trained with the Marconic energy. We're trained to just let go of using crystals, get crystals out of our practitioner rooms, don't wear them because they actually can be portals and they can also hold denser energy. And again, you're up here, they can kind of do that and you rise back up and you're going on this like flip-floppy ride from hell. And so I had to detach from my crystals. I had to detach from different practices that I was doing. One, I had to detach from Reiki. I actually felt like the Holy Fire Reiki was just doing this to me, to the next thing on my path. So, guys, we have to really detach and let go of things as we are committed to our ascension process. And that might mean friends, family, jobs, spiritual practices, places we hang out, food we eat, things we drink. Another thing, since I've been really on the path of ascension, is I've stopped drinking alcohol. Just wasn't a match. I always knew it wasn't a match for me for a very long time, since my 20s, but I kept doing it just for fun here and there. But then I realized 3 years ago that this is so not a match. This keeps pummeling me back down. And we just have to learn as we go, right? You get pummeled enough times, you're like, stop. And that's what it was like. I was like, I think I'm gonna not drink alcohol anymore. I'm so sick of like this abuse I do to myself. So it's been wonderful. The clarity that I've had, the clarity of vibration, no more hangovers, because I'm the type of person that would get hungover from a half a glass of wine. So we just have to detach. So if you're 100% committed to the light and to ascending and being, bringing those ascended frequencies into a physical body this lifetime, if that's the path you're on, you may have some ascension symptoms along the way, but there are like energy hangovers that you can prevent if you're willing to be committed to detaching from what's not serving you. And you will know what that is. And your ego will argue every step of the way, but you will know, and eventually you will say, no more. All right, beautiful people. If you could use some support in this ascension process, that's what I do. I am an ascension mentor. And so if you want to talk to someone about how to kind of organize your life right now to have less ascension symptoms and to feel to sustain your vibration, or if you're having a hard time with a story or letting go of certain pain body stuff, that's what I do. And if you'd like to check out just our connection, I do 30-minute free discovery calls. So take advantage of that if you have some ascension questions. All right, beautiful people, I hope your ascension symptoms release soon. Expand your energy, expand that broader perspective. You got this. You got this. Namaste.